I'm sure you've noticed that throughout this course, as we've tried to understand biblical theology of prayer, a simple theology, that I've woven through each one of these lessons that picture of the temple and of Jesus coming to the temple and cleansing that, and declaring that this was God's house. I want to take you back for just a minute to the building of that temple. God gave the directions to David and then to Solomon. And in that great prayer of dedication, that Solomon prayed this prayer and God's glory, his Shekinah came there. It was very clear that God intended the temple to be a place of his presence in the midst of his people. And even instructed them on how to pray when they were in difficulty, where there was a drought or where there was another crisis or an enemy that was attacking. They were to come there and they were to pray because God wanted to teach them to depend upon him. And he would demonstrate his glory to other nations even by answering those prayers. So when Jesus came to the temple, he came to see a place that was integral to God's plan to work in the midst of his people. And because there was not prayer, they had stolen God's glory. That's why Jesus uses that term, a den of thieves, a den of robbers. They had stolen God's glory by failing to pray. God's glory is seen when his people come to him in complete dependence, bring their needs, pray God's will, and watch and see God move. It's the same for us today. Here in the church, God is calling us to depend upon him completely, to cry out in prayer. It'll be a way of demonstrating the glory of God to all the nations. I trust you're growing in your understanding of prayer. We're going to continue to have a prayer time here. I hope that you'll be a part of that and you'll continue on in the next steps. But I want to encourage you to continue on with the next study that's going to also be about the theology of prayer. It's part 2. And the subtitle of that is Becoming a Praying Church. We're really going to dig into that. And so I encourage you to look for that as we develop that. And that course will be back here on Prayer U. We'd love to have you join us for that.